We've spent some time recently talking about how we can enhance the product in terms of skills database, and we put together a bit of a working prototype here based on a couple of inquiries, and I thought it would be useful to just video it so that we can take a look at it, consider, and be sure that this is the direction that we want to take it. It really falls into two areas. The first one is the idea that people who are going to be searching for names with required skills. And one way of doing this is to do a traditional sort of drill down through a skills structure. So what I've done here is to say the structure could consist of a category, manufacturer, technology, and product. And drilling down that, we can then get a list of the people in our database who have these sort of skills. And what attributes do we need to know about them? Well, we want their name. We maybe want their location. So we've got some US information, state and city. More US information about whether they're employees or contractors. W2 is an employee, 1099 is contractor. What their skill level is, and whether they've got any certifications there. And these are Cisco examples of Cisco certifications that are available. So that's one way in which we could drill down and have a look and get a list. There are other ways that we can use our reports to interrogate that data. If we go down this way, look at the skills 2, we can just provide a list of filters. And you could do this in a number of ways. You could say, right, I just want to look at people who've got a particular value of the of a product. We can add that and then run. And here we are. This comes back with the same view as before. That product is positioned in the skills breakdown structure. We've got a list of the resources that have some skills there and the relevant information about them. But you could do it another way. There we could just go back to the criteria and say, well, it could just be, if I remove that, I could do it more broadly and say I'm interested more in the technology, so I'm interested in security, people with security skills higher up than the product, and maybe I'm just interested in my own employees. This would be W2s, and run that. And there we are, we get a list which is a longer list, but addressing those particular criteria. So you can see how a simple filters page would enable people to be quite specific to create lists of people with the skills that they're particularly looking for. So I think, we can easily support this skills database structure and we can easily interrogate it. The next thing to look at is how individual resources can update their own skills profile. So the way we do that is to if we act for Anne Brown and see what she's got, as individuals log on, they can just see their My Skills list, just the information about what what data is held about each of them. And we want to, this has been set up with Tony's help so that an individual will only ever see information about themselves and their own skills, not about anybody else's. So let's say Anne wants to make some changes to this. And what she wants to do is to look at data center, Cisco, security, and here on A1 we can see that she's got an entry there which we saw in the report, so that she's got a novice level. Maybe she wants to claim now that she's got some skills on the product A5, so she can simply insert here the fact that it's Anne Brown, and she can claim what her skills level is. Maybe she can say that she's an expert on that. The other thing that can happen, of course, is that as new products and indeed new technologies come along, new entries within the breakdown structure will be required. So let's assume there's a new product appeared called A99, and she's going to say that she's got some skills on that. So she can go to a list here and say she wants to insert within the data center Cisco security structure, she wants to insert a new product. It is called A99. and within that she wants to insert information, the fact that she, Anne Brown, is a novice in that area. So that's the way an individual can go in and add in and update entries about skills within existing levels within the structure, but also if the organization wants to give permissions to do that, they can go in and extend the structure out, add new legs into the structure, and enter it that way. Obviously, by deploying it that way, it cuts down the amount of centralized administration that needs to be done on it. Now, the last thing just to look at is what sort of resource details we've got about people. I'd normally access this from the Jump To menu, but I haven't got that configured. So it's a question of going in View or Resources. Look at Anne Brown, look at her skills, resource details. Sorry, all these other tabs are open. But basically here we've got things like one of the people we were talking to wanted to know if that person was a 1099, what days of the week were they prepared to work? Are they prepared to travel out of the state? What certifications do they have? And again, an individual, we've given in this example the ability for Anne Brown to access just our own resource details tab. And here's a list of certifications that I've just borrowed from the Cisco page, and she can add in new ones as she claims those. Now, at the moment, this is just a list, but you can see how this could be a separate table where someone maybe centrally or an individual would be given the ability to go in and add new certifications and then claim them. So that's about as far as we've taken it, and I think at this stage we'd just like to share it around and think about it and see what we might want to do to productize it. So let me know your thoughts.